Hi there, it's Peter again from Romford Horror Film Festival. I'm here with A.D. Cooper, who is the writer, director and producer of The Penny Dropped. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
We've just seen the film here at the festival. Is this the first time you've seen the film on the big screen, or have you seen it before?
No, I've seen it several times.
Yeah?
It's had quite a good festival run.
Mhm.
It's won a few awards. So
Great,
It's done all right. Yeah.
great stuff. So what's The Penny Dropped? What's it about? What's the premise?
The premise is a woman goes to a dark place
Mhm.
to seek help from an unlikely source who is a ghost, and the thing that indicates that the ghost is here is that a penny drops.
Okay, yeah. That's like the calling card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspired you to write this film? How did the idea
I
come to
can't
you?
remember now. I think the thing was to have a viable ghost being thing, character, who actually had an axe to grind and wanted her revenge, and also wanted revenge. A deal had been struck, and somebody has not delivered on their part of the deal.
Right.
And so what they don't realise is that when the coin is flipped again, which is a double-tailed coin, so there's a kind of double layer of connivance, shall we say?
Yeah.
That they both think they've won.
Okay. Yeah. How long did it take you to write the idea?
I can't remember now. It had to be done quite quickly because it was initially it was for a competition, so it had to be written and produced in something like 6 weeks or something. It was very, very quick.
Right. Okay. So is that including the shoot? How long did it take to
It was
shoot?
a 2-day shoot, and we shot it in a World War II air raid shelter
Okay.
in a bunker
Interesting.
in Dalston, which is East London.
Yeah.
And it had absolutely no light at all. The cinematographer loved it. It didn't even have
Interesting.
a small window.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the other thing, there was a kind of constant mist of water dripping through.
Oh wow.
So
Very atmospheric.
So it's very
Yeah.
atmospheric. You didn't have to create any kind of
Yeah.
smoke or anything.
Okay.
But if you dropped anything on the floor,
Yeah.
it was gone.
Right.
And all of the scripts went to papier-mâché really quickly.
Oh, really?
So if you had a printed out script, it went full.
Because it was so damp.
It was so damp.
Wow.
And all the electrics were all very high to keep them off the floor.
Yeah, we noted like when we saw the film that the location was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a very
Yeah. It's around the back of the Arcola Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you raise the money to make the film?
I paid for it myself.
How did you select the casts?
I had a casting director.
Okay.
And in fact, the girl who played the main character,
Mhm.
she came in for the other role, and I got her to, while she was in the room, I got her to try.
Yeah.
And we gave her the other role. Yeah.
So you mentioned the location had some challenges. Was there any other challenges that you had, maybe in post or?
We did. It's trying to make the being look less solid,
Okay. Yeah.
so that you had a sense that she was otherworldly. And you know, with a budget, a budget so small it was a budgie. And that was quite tricky. In the end, we got a very nice guy who did some motion graphics for us, just for fun, because he just wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
Rather than doing sort of swooshes for corporate films and things.
Right.
He wanted,
Okay.
oh, this is fun, I'll do that.
Yeah. So was that a collaborative kind of thing with the special effects, or sort of?
Oh, no, very collaborative.
Yeah.
And it's the film was edited by a guy who lives in Raynham, and it's edited in Raynham.
Right.
So
local film. Yeah.
local talent.
Yeah.
That's right.
Great.
Yeah.
Have you made any films since?
I have. I
Yeah.
have made, I think, 6 or 7 since.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And you've got planned for more? Have you planned anything at the moment?
I'm still sucking up the cost of the last 2. I managed to make 3 films in the last 9 months.
Oh well, during lockdown.
Yeah, 2 in lockdown.
Okay.
Which has its own challenges
Of course.
and expenses and
Sure.
one's a monologue and one's outside.
Right. Okay. So that's how you got. Yeah.
But there's extra pain. Also, you've got to collaborate. All your collaborations have got to be done remotely. So you're editing remotely, you're grading remotely, and okay, the technology is brilliant now, but it's still not quite the same as being in the same room.
Of course not. No.
doable.
Do you have rehearsals with actors remotely as well? Do you do any of that?
I don't tend to rehearse very much. I just tend to just talk through the characters.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's. I think you can I leave the actors to do what they do. They're employed to do what they do. So I don't. It's normally if they've got an inference wrong with anything, or they've missed a mark, or they need to look over here, or whatever it is.
Okay.
I don't tend to rehearse.
Was there any films that you had in mind when you made The Penny Dropped?
It is kind of proof of concept for what I hope will be my debut feature, which is a supernatural film. So it's kind of just to show that I can do supernatural stuff.
Okay, is that your favourite genre? What kind of film?
It probably is. I don't like gritty realism. I like
Mhm.
supernatural, fantasy, sci-fi, history. Gritty realism is just no. You can look out the window for that. I want to be taken somewhere, go somewhere different. Yeah.
Have you got a favourite horror film or from that kind of genre that you just mentioned?
There's a 1972 horror film called The Changeling, not the one with Angelina Jolie. George C. Scott. Seek it out.
I know it.
It's you know it. Yeah. It gets a bit melodramatic towards the end, but it's very strong. Very strong.
Okay.
That's one of my favourites.
Great recommendation.
And I like The Orphanage as well, that Spanish film.
Oh yeah, I love that film. That's a really great film. Really great film.
Very strong.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for selecting the film.
You're very welcome.
Nice to be in a very strange, eclectic mix.
In the short film showcase.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.